The process. Reduce 2 is retained to do a comprehensive review of existing standards. You all have day jobs. You do your day jobs well. My day job is this. I do my day job well. We reviewed ISO 14001. That is Environmental Management Systems. 2012 one, which is a Sustainable Event Management System. And they have an international workshop agreement, their vernacular IWA 42, which is what the ISO says we should be doing about net zero. We then took Informa, has a program called Better Stands. And this is something they're pushing down through their shows to their supply chain, saying this is the criteria Informa would like to see have happen at all of its exhibitions. Informa owns Greenbuild in the construction, residential, and commercial space. Greenbuild has mandatory exhibitor guidelines. You cannot bring your booth into their hall unless you meet these guidelines. And in my opinion, probably the most rigorous guidelines and requirements in the industry. They actually randomly audit exhibit booths to make sure they're in compliance with the guidelines. Net zero carbon events has various sectors. One of them is the smart production and waste management. We took what they were doing. We also took the net zero logistics standards, we took that in. And then we took the Event Industry Council's exhibition services standards. If you can imagine, this Uber Excel spreadsheet has all these standards in it, and going across the horizontal, we were trying to look for a comparable. And at the end of that, we'd stick in Reduce 2's recommendation as to what we thought the organization should do, looking at what everybody else is doing around the world. The work began in August. The comparative was created against all of those standards, and that was distilled down to the recommendation, and a joint working group of the EDPA and the ESCA members was formed. We started meeting in October, 3 weekly meetings, 90 minutes long, every Thursday morning, to go through what was about 400 lines of standards in this Excel document. We then went forward and took the output of that working group and elevated up to the EDPA Sustainability Committee. They met on 3 occasions to go through what the working group was recommending. There have been 6 meetings, and the EDPA invited the ESCA members on the working group who are not on the EDPA committee to sit in so we could have their point of view. We have 1 or 2 more meetings yet to happen to resolve one section. The one section that we've left open right now is, believe it or not, IT. And you may be scratching your head. What does sustainability and IT have to do in common? What are you looking at? We've turned over our comparable, if you will, to people within companies that are on the working group to ask their IT professionals, what do you think of this recommendation? Things like use highly energy efficient machines, make sure the autosave is on. The 3 R's in our industry always start with reduce, whatever it is you're doing, reuse, if you can't reduce, and then recycle. We take the 3 R's and we look at everything that's happening in IT, everything that's going on behind the screens here, behind the curtain, and we look at the energy efficiency of the equipment, we look at what they're doing in terms of reducing, using more efficient, we look at reusing and recycling. E-waste recyclers, what are you doing with the tech when you're done? How much is going into the cloud? Let's take a virtual event with 200 attendees. What do you think the carbon impact is on that? 1,500 pounds of coal burned is the equivalent of running a virtual event with 200 attendees. It's about driving a car for 300 miles. Then we're going to put some window dressing. Right now it's in technical jargonese. We've got to get some communications people to look at this and rewrite this in a way that it is more palatable to the marketplace. And I expect that we'll have that out before year end.